Welcome, everybody. Simone Eli Mastel joining you for week 3 of the college football season. Matt, about time last week, that you pretty much said that ULM was going to struggle with Alabama. And the way you said it, I was like, all right, well, that's strong. Let's give the Warhawks a little love. Wow. Were you spot on with this prediction, my guy? Can't deny you that one. That was pretty strong there for the Tide.
Yeah, no, ULM is bad at football, and they're going to continue to be bad at football. And Alabama might not even be that good at football, but they're a lot better than ULM right now. So sorry, apologies to the Warhawks. I know it's a hard life out there. It's a program with a lot of financial difficulties, but you're not as good as Alabama. It's not 2007.
Yeah, no question. This was a definitely outmatched situation. Ty Simpson, perfect on the day. That's hard to do. We joked about it here in Mobile. It's hard to do against nobody, to just be able to complete 17 passes and do it that well. And this guy did it on Saturday. How impressive was that effort, even if despite who it is they were playing?
Yeah, no, he looked far, far improved. I mean, even against an opponent that wasn't as good as what they'd seen before or what they'll see next, like he definitely took a step up. He seemed to just be reading plays much better. He was making clearly he made every throw, but he was really making throws. Like it was a good showing by him. It seemed like Austin Mack getting a drive in there, which they knew was going to happen ahead of time, may have lit a fire beneath him. So. Yeah, about all you can ask for from Ty Simpson there.
Yeah, no doubt. As Alabama turns the page now, they're going to jump back into P4 play before, of course, getting ready for the SEC slate. And when you look at this game against Wisconsin, Bryant-Denny Stadium, this game last year, of course, Alabama was on the road for. They're in the friendly confines there in Tuscaloosa. Just initial thoughts, Matt, that you have as they welcome in the Badgers.
Yeah, Wisconsin is going to be a lot different from last season. They go from having Phil Longo, which was always just a weird sort of marriage between him and Luke Fickell in Wisconsin, sort of running just like a lot of air raid stuff at a program you would never expect that from. That seemed like it clearly wasn't working out good because he's gone now. Jeff Grimes in there. I think it'll be a lot more sort of balanced offense. Kalen DeBoer talks about how they still do some interesting stuff with reverses and play action, but overall, I think it could be a lot more just emphasis on running the ball for Wisconsin here than we saw last year.
Yeah, in terms of the challenge that this is for Alabama, and really just a prove it time, because Alabama did exactly what everyone expected for the Tide to do last week. Now, again, Wisconsin, 2-0 team, are they expected to be the top echelon in the Big Ten? Not necessarily, but it's still a Power 4 program. This is still a way better test as to where the Tide are. How much can this serve as a really decent evaluation period going into this weekend before they kind of get ready for what's going to be ahead here in the SEC schedule?
Yeah, this will be a much more true test from compared to the ULM game as to where Alabama is kind of coming off of that just Florida State disaster. Yeah, they're it's not. You said it, they're not going to be like the top tier of the Big Ten, but they are like a legitimate Big Ten team this year. They've gone undefeated so far. Now the wins are against Ohio and Middle Tennessee State, so kind of take that for whatever it's worth. But it's going to be a tougher test. I think we will actually be able to learn some things about Alabama in this game.
Yeah, when it comes to the fan base, the temperature of things, and just how that kind of always goes. Did you get any feel for what it was like last Saturday and just kind of how the fans are moving forward? Is there a cautious optimism? Is there still just people enraged? What does that kind of look like as we get ready for this game at Bryant-Denny on Saturday?
I don't think it was possible for maybe it was possible for fans to get more panicked than they were, but it would have been really tough. My TikTok feed was full of just videos of Nick Saban screaming at people set to Alan Jackson's "Remember When." I don't know if I mentioned that on the show last week. You got that, and you got videos of Kalen DeBoer spliced up with Saddam Hussein. That was where the Alabama fan base was at last week.
Yeah,
so
that's
yes,
strong.
I think there's definitely some like cautious optimism for the team this week. I mean, 73-0. Like obviously it was ULM, but like that's nothing to sneeze at. Like they played like as close to a perfect game, I think, as you've seen Alabama play in a while. They clearly like had some effort and intensity that were lacking in the Florida State game. And I
Yeah.
mean, that was going to show up regardless of opponent. So yeah, I think there's perhaps a little more optimism in Tuscaloosa than there was last week.
What's been the messaging from the coaching staff this week? Of course, you hear from Kalen DeBoer a couple of times. The coordinators always just as they kind of turn the page and look ahead to this game.
Yeah, I mean, they need to keep taking steps forward, I think was generally the sentiment. None of the coaches really seemed, I guess, satisfied with last week's effort. I mean, they were happy with the result and
Sure.
just like being able to see everybody take a step. I think they all have recognized this team is not like probably still not where it needs to be yet. And I think they're hopeful for to just take another step in that direction against a far better opponent here.
Yeah, Matt, what is the injury update? We know, of course, Ryan Williams was injured in week 1 of the season with that concussion. What's the latest on his status and others that are significant situations there for the Tide?
Yeah, Ryan's back. Kalen DeBoer said today he expects him to play. Danny Lewis, the tight end, remains out. Jamarian Latham, Jam Miller, and Tim Keenan will all be game time decisions. So yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
No, we'll see on those.
All right. Well, Alabama goes into this game as a 20.5-point favorite as of this recording. What's your prediction on this one, Matt? What do you think this is going to look like when we kick things off and it hits 0-0 there at Bryant-Denny?
I think Alabama should handle them pretty well. I don't know. Yeah, 20.5 is. I mean, that's a lot of points to win
It
by
is. I was surprised by that. Yeah, I agree with
against
you
a
there.
team that'll maybe slow it down a little bit more than like you expect. I think it's just gonna be hard to get to. But I don't know, like maybe a 35-21, somewhere in there for Alabama, probably.
Yeah, I think that if Alabama gets up 21 to Wisconsin, that where they have bigger issues down the line. So I'm gonna say maybe I don't know. I agree with you on the win, no question. Low 30s, maybe 14 points. I think that hopefully there's a fire lit and that Wisconsin's not seeing the end zone too often there. Bryant-Denny, good stuff. All right, Matt Stahl, Simone, join you for this week's head-to-head. We'll see you next week, guys, as Alabama gears up for SEC play eventually against Georgia.
Brought to you by Alabama Beef Farmers and Ranchers.